Hi, Papa Wrench here. Today we're going to go gas up our vehicle. First thing we're going to take into account is where do we want to gas up at. Now we've already checked fuel prices, and the station we normally go to, he's at the low end, that's where we want to be. The next thing we're going to take into consideration is what type of fuel do we want to put into it. Now our vehicle will run on flex fuel, doesn't require anything more than 87 octane. Quick note here, never put anything more in it than the minimum your vehicle will run on. It's a waste of money. 93 octane premium fuel, unless it's required. Check your gas cap, check your gas cap door, check your owner's manual. It's really just a waste of money. The next thing we're going to look for is it an E10? Now E10 basically means that it can have up to 10% ethanol. If you can find a station that does not have ethanol, it's not a bad way to go. 3-4 cents difference in price, it's worth it. Again, that E10 or that little bit of ethanol in it will decrease your gas mileage just a little bit. That's an important thing to remember. The next thing we're going to do is let's get up to the gas station now and get some gas in here. We've made one little error. We've kind of let our vehicle run a little bit lower on fuel than we normally do. Normally about a half a tank we try to go ahead and gas it up. Anything less than that you can start building up condensation, and particularly true during the winter months, especially if your vehicle stays inside. Now ours does that, so we've kind of messed up a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get her gassed up here. Don't think it's usually enough to bother you, but if you do it repeatedly you can build up a lot of moisture in the bottom of your tank. Now as we gas up, the next thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to overfill the engine or the gas tank. We keep cramming it in there because we know it's going to go up. It's going to go up tomorrow, so we want to get as much in there as we can. Well, best thing to do is about a nickel to 25 cents. Once it clicks off, just round her up. Next nickel, next 25 cents. That's enough. If you put too much fuel in it, you'll actually get some liquid up in a vent line, and the computer can pick it up as a problem and make that check engine light come on. Now that we've gassed up, we want to take a quick look at our gas cap, make sure that the seal looks good, get her on there nice and tight. Most of the time a single click or a couple of clicks is all you need to do, making sure that the gas cap is securely on the vehicle. If you leave it too loose, you can make that check engine light come on, and there's nothing worse than going somewhere and paying somebody like $100 to tell you that your gas cap was left loose. So now that we've got the vehicle gassed up, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reset our trip odometer. Now some vehicles these days have more than one, or if you need to, write it down somewhere, but what you want to do is you want to maintain a log of when you're gassing up. Jot down your mileage, reset your trip odometer. We're going to start taking an accurate count of exactly what our gas mileage is. And we're going to do this for a couple of reasons. If there's ever an issue and you need to go somewhere and say I'm losing gas mileage, you can be much more specific than I used to get 400 miles on a tank of fuel, now I'm only getting 300. He doesn't know if you're gassing it up the same every time. It's too many open ends there. The next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to see which fuel our vehicle really wants. See if it's worth it to go to a brand name, see if it's fine where we're going, or do we need to change where we're getting it from. So keep those things in mind when you initially gas up. Now remember, this was a station that we normally go to. We were actually driving by it last night. We noticed a tanker was dropping fuel. Now we didn't gas up last night for a couple of reasons. One, we don't want to gas up when that tanker is dropping fuel because he's stirring up the bottom of that tank. Those pickups are anywhere from 4 to 7 inches from the bottom. If you gas up when he's dropping fuel, you can get some of that contamination. The next thing we did is we allowed the fuel to settle down temperature-wise. Now yesterday it was about 75 degrees, so when he dropped that fuel into the ground, it starts to take on the temperature of the ground, which is about 55 degrees. The nice thing there is when we put it in our tank and it warms up during the day, we're going to get the benefit of some expansion. It's another reason why we didn't want to cram too much fuel in it. So that expansion is actually going to help our gas mileage a little bit. We're going to get the benefit of having fuel that we didn't even pay for, and that's a nice thing. So keep those tips in mind. I'll be doing a few other little things in this series. We'll also talk about additives and some other stuff here in another one. But remember, all these are my opinion. These are my thoughts on anything, so I have no axe to grind. So if you have any questions, you can leave it on my Facebook page, or you can leave it on my YouTube comments page. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.